Barcelona plays host to round 12, where Remy Lebeau has stuck it on pole from Daf Sanchez and Revo, the points leader. Sebastian Ocampo is 4th from Linus Eriksson and Enoch Yu. Versus Theo outqualifies his teammate Casper Lebeau in 7th and 8th, then it's Yua Puff, Marcus Nelson in 10th from Cable, and Daniel Bogtasar off the top 12. Charles Hernandez is 13th from David 12, and Nico Palomino starts his home race down to 15th from the Red Devil in Awful Catfish. Sigmund is 18th from Babinus Jr. and Onkaro Ezra, then it's the back row of Silas Kynes and your boy. It's been quite some time since we've hit the track here in Catalonia. Remy Lebeau is on pole, all 5 lights go on. And the ERL returns to Spain in Season 27 with a brilliant getaway from Daf Sanchez off the front row, heading down into turn number 1, and I do mean down literally. A small hill greets the drivers into the braking point. What can Sanchez do? He can just about hold on to that second position. Remy Lebeau blasting away from the pack as we look through the mid-pack. In fact, Palomino getting a relatively good start, moves up into 14th position. Ocampo moves up into 3rd, Enoch Yu up into 4th after a shockingly brilliant qualifying from the Hong Kong driver that saw him qualify in 6th. Linus Eriksson, we go on board with the number 28, trying to close up to Revo as they come through turns 8 and 9, I believe. Don't have the track map on me. As they now head down into turn 10, side-by-side action between the 7 and the 25. And for Enoch Yu, he's being bottled up by Sebastian Ocampo, but he's also getting a little bit of a slipstream when they go down the straight. That helps him defend, but not for long enough. There goes the 7 up into 4th position. It's been so long since we've seen this track in any capacity in the ERL. We headed to Valencia in Season 22, where Verse Theo took victory there. But as we begin lap 2 of 16, Remy Lebeau leads on the ERL's return to Barcelona, Catalonia. It's always great to go racing here. A lot of the time, these races come down to strategy, but we do see times where the race is won on pure race pace. And you know what? Sebastian Ocampo is showing off quite a lot of race pace today. You can take a look at 7th and 8th, the two Amlin Aguirres dueling over 7th and 8th position. These two 2nd and 3rd in the championship. Both of them 30 points off of Revo, who has a very comfortable championship lead. And considering that we've got a double points finale, that double points finale might be the only hope that the two Amlins have. The real underdogs of the ERL as a whole. As you can see, the soft tires for Charles Hernandez beginning to grain up with 14 laps to go. Heading across the start-finish line as Sanchez punches in a 106.066. He's got attack mode on Remy Lebeau, but watch this as they come down into the opening chicane. Ocampo gets alongside, and he makes the pass. I was going to say that it was going to be a lot harder to make a pass, but somehow, some way, the man who's chasing after a champ car title is also going after a race win here in Spain. Lebeau has led every lap of this race so far. For the man fighting for 6th in the championship. Good stuff for the 26. The 76 right behind him. As we look back with Ocampo, the rear wing opens up. Both hyperdrives running in 3rd and 4th. We don't know if Sanchez is going to continue in Formula E or Champ Car next season due to the anti-bushwhacking policy that has recently been introduced as our cameras beginning to struggle here in Spain. We expect to see some of these guys come into the pits quite soon, and yes, Remy Lebeau, before we reach a quarter of the way through this race, he comes in with Sanchez and Linus Eriksson. Sebastian Ocampo leads this race from Revo and Casper Lebeau. This track, while it has many a different characteristic to the track I'm about to talk about, it's got roughly the same track length as the Hockenheim Ring, and by proxy the same lap count as the Hockenheim Ring. Very, very interesting to see the two different styles of track layout and the fact that they have the same lap count, but still very similar racing, despite the fact that this track doesn't have any traditional hairpin bends. As for the drivers who have come in come out of pit lane. Ericsson has jumped Daf Sanchez at the pits, but what we're trying to look for is to see if the overcut or the undercut is more advantageous. LeBeau has clawed back to 20 seconds within race leader Sebastian Ocampo's margin. We should see this man, David 12, stay out for an extra lap, as he's the only man who started this race on the hards. Rounding the final corner, his teammate does come into the pits, to Zygmunt, and the leaders are down into pit lane. Where is Remy LeBeau? Well, he's making his way through the final few corners. David 12 on lap 5 of 16. He leads here in Spain. The Spanish driver himself, Nico Palomino, and Carlos Sainz, they both come down into the pits and they are outside of the top 15, so that's not good news for the home fans, but surely some better news is to come. Fastest third sector for Einat Babinis Jr. That Mercedes car has shown some levels of pace as Daf Sanchez puts in the fastest opening sector of anybody. Sanchez running in 4th position, but quite a ways away from Remy LeBeau, who seemingly has this race won already with 11 laps to go. Versus Theo out of the pits in front of Revo and dueling away with an RQ. Both of these guys have spent some time stateside in the the IndyCar or Champ Car World Series, if you prefer one or the other. An RQ on the back of Versio as we are on board with Sebastian Ocampo. Just taking a look at these mini sector times, it does seem like the hards are more advantageous. 18% for your boy as he dives down into pits. 10 laps to go. Sanchez in second as Versio has to concede 4th to an RQ. Not too good for his title bid. Meanwhile, his teammate looking for a pass on Revo, but we're not watching that. We are watching Marcus Nelson move up into 9th place. That right there is Casper LeBeau in the slipstream of Revo. Not really too much of a fight for the lead because Sanchez is 2 seconds off of the lead. There goes an RQ up into 4th position in front of Versio. Sebastian Ocampo, we go on board with the 76 who goes alongside with the 2-time Formula E race winner. The 2-time Formula E champion moves up into 4th position. Next EV, Team China Racing might have just found their secret formula to actually consistent good results, as Sanchez has moved up into 2nd place. He still has the fastest lap of this race, as you are Puff further back with a time penalty. Rarely see those. That's for contact though, and that's with Babinis Jr. in the 14. Remy LeBeau dives down into pit lane. We might see Babinis Jr. follow him in, and yes, it's a very interesting pit lane entrance, by the way. The drivers could theoretically cut across and not receive any penalties, but because of the major hill that part of the track is on, no one really wants to take it. LeBeau's got a track limits warning, but also the fastest opening sector, as he's now fighting away with Revo over 4th place. He actually made the pass there. And now the question is, can he hold him off, as we are approaching half race distance here in Spain. In terms of the Spanish drivers themselves, they run 10th and 15th. It's not an ideal race, but the tyre situation does seem a lot better, a lot more hopeful than other races on the calendar. I'd argue that the tyres were even less around here compared to Hungary. Not even Hungary, Germany. Got my wrong Uri in there as Daf Sanchez dives down into the pits. And we're going to take a quick break. It's the ERL Formula E Series race number 12 here in Barcelona, Catalonia. Back here in Barcelona, Catalonia, Casper LeBeau moving up into 3rd position in front of Revo as we return to the racing action. Sorry, I just had to take care of a little something. Don't worry, it was also distracting me, and that's why I said Hungary over Germany. What's happening over there? Casper trying to close up to Linus Eriksson. Linus, the Season 3 IndyCar Series champion. Casper LeBeau, the Season 1 Ace champion, as they're now going side by side through the final couple of corners. Linus dives down to pit lane, but he went quite a ways offline there. Ocampo staying out to begin lap 9. The hard tyre gambit does seem to be paying off for these drivers. Remy LeBeau's on the hards as well, and he's down at 16th. As there goes Casper LeBeau, trying to take the lead, trying to take 10 points out of Revo's points lead. But for Ocampo, former teammate to Revo, you'll remember, he's trying to help out his buddy. Defends quite well and holds on to the race lead. Thus, the two-time Formula E champion, who will be going after a Champ Car World Series championship next time out in the Champ Car World Series. That's the Grand Prix of St. Louis in Illinois. Now coming through the sharpest corner on the track, the rear wing open for Casper LeBeau. Just a reminder, the fan boost vote will close at the end of the Champ Car race. So as now the top three making their way through the final couple of corners, you'll notice Revo hasn't actually put himself into the battle for position at all, as they now dive into the final sequence of corners. The top two into the pits, Revo staying out. He is doing an extension. This could be a smart move. This could be a smart move. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it could be. Potentially, the tyre advantage in that final 6 laps could be monumental. Theoretically, we believe you should be able to make it to the end of the race on a set of hards if you do a little bit of tyre management. They could go coming through the final few corners, but if you come into the pits and you strap on a set of mediums and then around lap 13, 14 put on a set of softs, you'll be good to the end of this race. As Remy LeBeau running in 4th position, he's trying to move up into 3rd. Has Revo played this to perfection? Ocampo and Casper have come out of the pits in 10th. This could be brilliant for track position, especially if a caution comes out, but we haven't seen one. Here comes Casper. Not Casper, that's Remy, his dad. Casper's down in 9th. Your boy being attacked by most of the field. There goes Remy in the 26, up into 3rd position. Daf Sanchez trying to follow the Season 25 Formula E champion through, but instead it's Linus Eriksson who makes the pass. Revo and Hernandez both down into pit lane. Also into the pits, your boy, you can see the drivers coming in there. In comes Daniel Bogdasarov. He's got a time penalty and he's just picked up. As here comes Eriksson, taking the lead here in Spain from Remy LeBeau, whose hard compound tyres are finally giving way. He did what he could to attack as much as he could to get himself back up near the front of the pack, but it just hasn't worked out the way that he would have wanted it to. Just a reminder, Fan Boost is still active. We'll have some race lowdowns on Sparkplug Motorsport 2 with the brand new Sparkplug Motorsport news segment as we go on board with Daf Sanchez, as he's alongside with, he's trying to throw it around the outside of Remy LeBeau and he just can't quite catch it. Casper LeBeau though, he's following Daf Sanchez through up into 3rd and making the lunge up into 2nd position. That's a very nice move there from the number 34 Amlin Aguirre driver. As you can see, Ocampo also making the pass, almost running into the back of his A1GP teammate in Daf Sanchez, and has Eriksson come in. Eriksson is down into the pits. Casper LeBeau on lap 12 of 16. 4 laps to go. He leads as in comes Carlos Sainz with a time penalty at his home race. After 3 laps, it's 21% tyre wear. I don't like harking on a tyre-specific problem. Revo's out there on a set of softs. He likely has another stop to make. I don't think they can do 5 laps. Hyperdrive could push it though. And if they do push it, that could be a very big problem. It's been a good comeback drive for Nicholas Palomino. Started 15th up to 8th now. And for Casper LeBeau. Oh, we've got contact further back. That's... Oh! Your boy and Zygmunt I don't know what's happened between those two. Is one of them? Yes, front puncture for Zygmunt. It's a front puncture for the Venturi driver. Around the outside goes your boy, Babinis Jr. and Bogdasarov. Unbelievable. A little bit of action here in Spain. Looking back as Enoch gets by quite cleanly. There's only 3 other drivers behind him as the race leaders coming through the final few corners. The top 3 are all into the pits. Revo now takes the lead as that's a big slide. Big slide for Oinkro Ezra. Zygmunt letting Solos Kynes go by as he now enters the final sector. And another caution. Oh! That's bad. That's terrible. Your boy diving down into pit row. Looks like Bogdasarov could have had a tire go on his own. And no, Ezra is out of this race. What has happened? He's hit the wall on his own. What has happened in that final sector? Because that is 3 incidents involving the same drivers. Is that just a low downforce thing? Because of the damage sustained in those incidents, who knows? But we are about to go green again. We are green again here in Barcelona. This has been one of the most hectic 13th laps in Spanish ePrix history. David 12 has come from the back of the pack to 3rd right now. Charles Hernandez making the lunge for 4th, getting past his fellow Southeast Asian driver in Awful Catfish. As now Hernandez looking for 3rd position. Nicholas Palomino, the comeback drive, the comeback king. I'd go as far as to say, in comes Revo, Palomino follows in. That's the top 5 all down into pit lane. So Theo will take the race lead on lap 14 of 16. Mediums going on for Revo, so he's inverted the strategy that I just blurted earlier. Casper Lebo is now up into 3rd place, but their tires, they surely can make it. There goes Linus Eriksson up into the race lead, going through the opening chicanes. This is getting really feisty, a little bit spicy as well. Revo came out of the pits in 8th. He's got the best mediums of everybody, but I don't think that the mediums are the best race tyre at this stage. Off the track there for the Red Devil as UK Ball makes it up into 10th. He's scored less points than his teammate so far this season. A teammate who is about, it seems, to be fired from his duties in Formula E, could be moving to the Champ Car World Series. As side by side between the 2 Amlin Aguirres, looks like it could have been team orders there. Casper Lebo moving up into 2nd position, and if it is team orders, that makes sense. Casper's the one who is higher up in the championship. We're going to head on to the penultimate lap here, and I think Casper is on for another race win, staking a claim to the championship. Rounding the final 2 corners there, the rear wing opens up as we begin lap 15 of 16 here in Spain. He's gaining 1/10 of a second as they head down into the opening corners, and by the time they exit turn 1, it's a new race leader here in Spain. It's Casper Lebo from Linus Eriksson and Remy Lebo. Meanwhile, Theo has dropped down to 5th place. Severe lack of pace there. Revo showing that pace. Car number 7 up into 7th position, going for his 6th title, remember. A 6th title that has not been seen in quite some time in the ERL. Heck, only one other driver has 4 titles, 3 titles across any ERL category. Zygmunt 47 seconds off the lead, 1.3 seconds the margin out in front. Casper has this race under control as there goes Sebastian Ocampo up into 3rd place. On board we go with the 26 of Remy Lebo, trying to close up, trying to get past the man who currently holds down 3rd place to try and be on the podium with his son, a son who now leads us to the final lap here in Spain. Revo going side by side and in front of Theo. That's 5th place for the 5-time champion. At least he will outscore one of his title rivals. There goes Marcus Nelson past Theo as well. 14% for the Brazilian driver, 29% for Casper Lebo. He's fine. Fastest opener sector for Revo. He's trying to get onto the podium as well. This could be sensational if he manages to do it, but for the 34 sensational. That's just how he lives his race. He had a very poor, subpar qualifying effort outside of the top 6, but he and Amlin Aguirre made the most of it. They clawed themselves back, they fought back, and by the end of lap 16, they know they're back in the hunt. Rounding the final corner, it's Casper Lebow who will take victory here in Spain in the ERL's return to Catalonia. And look at that, across the line, that's the closest finish between positions ever. The second there, Linus Eriksson just about out-dragging Remy Lebow. Revo clawed a 4th place there. And you know, if that was for the lead, that would have been the new record for the closest finish in ERL history. Bogdasaro! Oh! What? What in the actual hell happened to Daniel Bogdasarov? Bogdasarov has been taken to the medical center after that last lap smash. I don't have anything else to call that. But Casper Lebow taking victory from Linus Eriksson and Remy Lebow, the 2 Lebows on the podium together. And in fact, all 3 of these guys quite chummy with one another. Eriksson holding on to 2nd place there. That's one of the, if not the single closest margins of beating a driver that you're fighting with over the line. That's probably a better way to say that. But in terms of the rest of your finishes, Revo minimizing damage there. He only lost 13 points to Casper Lebow. Sebastian Ocampo 5th from Marcus Nelson and Daf Sanchez. Versio is 8th from the Red Devil and Cable, the top 10 outside of it. 4 places gained. It could have been a lot more for Nico Palomino, but Red Bull Sims just couldn't deliver the strategy he needed. Alpha Catfish 12th from Charles Hernandez and Anarchy. Then it's your boy David 12th, Silas Kynes, Babinus Jr., Your Puff and Bogdasarov, with Sigmund almost a lap down, and Oinkro Ezra the only non-finisher. Revo still holds down the championship lead, then he's being chased by the 2 Lebows, Casper in front of his dad Remy, Versio 4th from Nico Palomino and Daf Sanchez. Arthur Catfish is 6th from Daniel Bogdasarov and Hugh Cable. Linus Eriksson is 10th from the Red Devil and Charles Hernandez. Your Puff 13th from Sebastian Ocampo and Enoch-Yu. Then it's Salas Kynes, David 12, your boy Oinkro Ezra, Sigmund, Babinus Jr. and Marcus Nelson. In the Constructors' Championship, heading into the 3rd round of the series, Nord Hyperdrive lead the way, but they're only 3 points up on Amlin Aguirre. Red Bull Sims Racing are 3rd from Power Motorsport, and best of the rest, Jaguar Martini. They're only 1 point up on Team Edam's Renault. Andretti Autosport, they are 7th from Next EV TCR and Dragon Racing. Then it's Mercedes EQ and Rocket Venturi 12. And that marks Casper Lebow's 2nd Formula E race win. And it's a 2nd race win that puts him a little bit closer, a little more in reach to that championship. The margin, I believe, if my maths is correct, is now 18 points. Someone can probably correct me in the comments, but I believe it's only a 2nd place. Considering the double points finale, if they continue at this rate, Revo's going to need a few more wins to hold on to the championship. Remy Lebow, the man who won the first race of the championship, he's trying to get himself closer to that title battle. It's seeming as if we're going to head towards Revo versus the Lebows come the final round of the championship in St. Petersburg. Initially it was confirmed to be Hong Kong, but then moved to St. Petersburg for some odd reason. I haven't checked. Remember, the Fan Boost poll still active for the rest of today. By tomorrow, it will close and the winners will be announced on Sparkplug Motorsport News. Next race will be the finale in the Champ Car World Series, the Grand Prix of St. Louis. So from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsport, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns.